Good morning.
Hi, Jeff.
Did you get my email?
No, but I just got one from Harry. Oh, there he is.
Trina and Lee both texted me.
Yeah, I'm thinking, oh boy, I must have set it up wrong or something. Hi, Harry. Wait, where am I? I had my video on. Man, was I having trouble with light today? The sun is blasting in this window, and I don't have any shade on it, so it's killing me.
No.
Let me see if I can get Harry in over here.
Yeah, I'm coming in through the desktop too, just in case you share your screen.
Cool.
Yeah, I have a wait. Let me get on here. I got the colors are wrong. Good morning, Scott. Wait, I'll say good morning to everybody. Jeff, Harry, I see Harry. Good morning, lovely Trina, Scott, Marty is out there. Lee, I see you, and Chris, and of course Harry's in there twice. And somebody's on the phone. 0403. Don't know who that is. Who could that be?
Hold on, I'll see if it's on my phone.
Wait, let me
Chris.
get
Chris. Not Chris. Not Chris.
I got the light that's killing me today. I look like a beet.
An Oompa Loompa.
I should be beat.
6040403 is Chris.
Oh, Chris, can you hear us? You got the mute on. Okay, so let's take a minute and see what I did. I thought I started the meeting I sent the link for. So
When I logged in, when I tried to log in, it told me the host had another meeting.
yeah,
Right.
Harry
Right.
texted me and he wrote that I have another meeting. But I thought I clicked on the meeting that I sent yesterday, but I must have clicked on the wrong one. So it assumed I was in another meeting. I don't know. Could have been, I didn't have my glasses on. I clicked on the wrong thing and
Too early in the morning.
too early. Ari would love it if we went later on. I'd like it too, but I got to be at the office. And in fact, they called me and they're having issues with scanning. We have a network scanner, and one of the girls, it won't scan to her desk, and they had a giant stack that she needed it. So until I get there, they start at 8. I said, nah, I can't do it. I got responsibilities and obligations.
And friends. You have friends.
And of course, and friends. Let's see. We have
Are you to get there at 7:30? I think it'd be easier for him since he doesn't have to travel. He just has to go to his bedroom or his office or something.
I think he was only here for, are you talking about Ari?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, he was here on our first meeting with, second meeting with Michael Bentley. But, then he wants it later, or I guess he's just not going to show.
Oh.
But, and I was wondering, what do we want to do when Corky's is open again? Are we going to move this back to eggs and the back room there and everything? Or are we going to, I'm not sure.
You got to wait till you see what the governor's doing.
Right.
Or how Corky sets it up.
Yeah, and then it's going to be dependent upon how a lot of restaurants, even though the governor's given the opportunity to open, aren't opening. They don't feel comfortable, and it's not worth it to open under the restrictions he wants to put in place. But is putting in place. But
And a lot of expense with refitting everything, so that they could meet the code of the governor.
Right.
Sure.
I find it very challenging to eat with a mask on.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
Did you see pictures out of, I think it was Texas, where a restaurant was completely packed? What they, in their words, double normal Mother's Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they all arrested or anything?
No, the governor.
This is Texas.
The
owner was.
Oh, that's Texas.
The owner
I
was,
have room in the hospitals in a month, but you know, the restaurants are full for a day.
Right. And Georgia was up 64% in cases.
Yep. Yep.
So it's too soon to start back up again.
Well, I went to Walmart. The Walmart carries, there's a certain kind of iced tea I like that Walmart only has, unsweetened green tea. And the Walmart in Streetsboro was packed. And I would say maybe a third were wearing masks because the message they get is everything's hunky-dory. We can go back to normal.
Right. You give people an inch, they take a mile.
The Walmart here at Som and Mayfield, they have a person counting, so that when you go in, somebody comes out, somebody goes in.
Yeah, but I was talking. It was interesting. I was talking to a restaurant owner. So each restaurant, the governor never put a hard cap on how many people. They just said retail. This was the grocery stores, the essential businesses. You need to come up with a plan to limit people to keep it to the 6-foot distance, which is almost impossible in a retail store in the aisles. So they did put green and red, one-way directions in aisles. But what Walmart did versus a Heinen's who puts a pretty strong hard cap, Walmart included their storage space in determining how many people could come into their store. So their capacity, just to give you an idea, in the Aurora store across from Jog Lake was 980 people. There's probably never been 980 customers in that store. So they put a number out there and they count it, but it was meaningless. So
you think they could come up with a formula per square foot? How many people are
you could,
allowed?
but the governor's getting pressure from retail businesses not to do that because and customers, because customers don't want to wait in line, and he won't do it.
I guess they want to die or have sick loved ones.
The problem is, Trina, they don't believe it's going to happen.
Right.
I know it's hard to keep at this rate, but I mean, other states that didn't do it, like Georgia,
right?
They didn't even have a decline before they started reopening, and now look what happened.
But Trina, the true believers are going to tell you that's fake news. They don't believe it.
I know. I've met a few.
That's right. So have I. I have friends like that, and we try to keep this out of our conversation.
Right.
They don't believe any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And
there are people that don't believe the Holocaust happened. So what are you going to do?
Oh my God.
I was listening to an interview with Pete Davidson, whose father died in 9/11. I think he was a fireman. He said people come up to him and tell him that 9/11 was a conspiracy, and his father was killed by the Russians or something.
I still have people that believe in that conspiracy that they say Google Building 7 for 9/11. Building 7, nothing hit it or not, and it still crumbled. So
yeah,
there's people that believe all sorts of things. Although I probably believe 1947 Roswell. I think something crashed. I think. Or I just want to believe it so bad.
Right.
I still go back to my brother.
That's a harmless belief, though. I mean,
right.
So what? You believe that aliens crashed? I mean, it's totally harmless. It's not going to affect everybody's life.
Right.
So.
Well, the point was made. The article I read, I think it was Forbes, said there's too much downside to going back too early for the all these people who claim we got to go back for the economy. The worst thing you can do is go back too early, because if you got to shut it down again, you're shutting it down for a long time.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
So same thing. I feel the same way about baseball. Baseball, just concede this season. It's over. You're not going to play. For you to go back to playing so you can pay your millionaire athletes and your billionaire media companies and owners while the concession guy gets screwed, that's a bad look, if nothing else. This came from Paul Hoynes, the Cleveland Indians writer. He said, it's just a bad look. You're telling other people they can't work, but we're going back so we can collect our TV money. Whatever. We can solve all the world's problems, right?
Well, at least we could talk about it. And as far as the baseball, I don't. Maybe they want to play with nobody in the park or something.
Well, that's what they're going to do.
I think they're going to start in July, maybe.
Yeah. The plan is to start But again, it's only so they can collect some of their TV money. There's absolutely no reason, they're going to tell you it's so people can be entertained, but that's not the case. I mean, again, it's their TV contracts they're concerned about.
Yeah. Hey, one thing at a time.
Yeah, right.
I like saying, there's certain things that are above my pay grade. All I could do is wait and see what happens. The only, this COVID-19 thing, the effect that it had on me, I've been shopping every 2, 3, 4 days. I make sure I get plenty of salad and all of that. And other than me not being able to go to Breckenridge, I'm okay. It's just, I guess that's maybe 25% of what I earn. And it's not as though I haven't heard from them, thank God.
Right.
4 of them are close. They're not just customers, they're friends. And they called me to tell me they're okay.
Yeah.
Which is great, because the 2 of that, one is 91 and Jean is 94. And I help her with everything, her TV, her phones, her iPads, everything.
Right.
And that leads me to, I wanted to talk about Chromebook today. I was going to see if we were going to get any more. We have a pretty good crew here. I'm glad that, I'm sorry that we couldn't get, hey, Chris, can we hear you? I guess not. It looks like he's on the phone.
And on the camera.
Really?
There's 2 Chris's on here, or it's Chris and a phone.
Yeah, Chris on the phone is what I
I think it's just Chris on the phone.
His name's Chris. There's Chris on the camera too.
Hey,
Oh,
Jeff,
sure.
move your head for 1 sec so I can.
know that goes back to Trina's presentation last week.
Okay.
The definition of dense.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome. I didn't create it. I didn't write it. I just made the background.
I like your previous one too.
Thanks.
Cool. So I see you've got a background for yourself, Marty. What does that say?
It says, to the people who leave the ones they love to save strangers.
Okay, well, just move out of the way and we'll read it. Let me see.
Honoring medical worker, honoring first responders.
Move the other way, Mart. Nope, the other way. Yeah, there you go. Okay. To the people who leave the ones they love to save the lives of strangers.
Cute.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a shout out to the first responders.
Absolutely. God love them.
Yes. Yes, they die also.
Yes, they do. When they put their lives on the line. Let's see. Okay. I think we could start talking about Chromebook. Somebody asked me 3-4 days ago what my recommendation was, and probably Jeff hears this too, as we're both IT guys. And they say, I want to buy a new machine, but all I do is use email and surf the internet. That's what I get 90% of the time when somebody wants to buy a new machine. I surf the internet and use email. Well, you know what? If that's what you want to do, from what I've looked up, because I want to recommend what they should do, and for this particular person from 3-4 days ago, Chromebook is absolutely what to buy. And I made a bunch of notes, and I also put 4 machines that I'm going to share. Let's see if I share the screen, if we see the one that's up there.
Is the Chromebook not a full computer?
Correct.
Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay, this is pretty much what people look at when they go to buy a Chromebook. It's usually around this size, could be 13. There's some that are larger, but they're look at that price. This is a listing from Micro Center, and it's 11.6 inch. It says laptop computer. It's in white. It has a Celeron chip, which by all accounts in the Windows world is pretty much, I don't think we're going to use that. because it's like a little teeny puppy trying to pull a beer wagon. It just can't do it. But with Chrome OS, which is a flavor of Linux, which is a copy of an older program called Unix, which has been in existence forever, is very lightweight, and yet it's robust. So you see, I was going to wait till the end to do this, but I think this is what people talk about when they say they're going to buy a Chromebook. $189, and they got more than 10 of them in the store, which means they're probably loaded with them. And the processor's a Celeron, which is really deneutered. It's an Intel chip that they've taken the power away from. There's probably a better explanation for it that Jeff could quantify what a Celeron means, but suffice it to say, it's not a very powerful chip, and it is not part of the more modern i3, i5, i7. Okay, somebody just wanted to get admitted. I just clicked admit. Okay, $189.99 plus tax. And in my notes, I say that you could get a pretty nice Chromebook around this kind of thing for $300 or less. And for most folks who want to surf the internet, even buy from Amazon, emails, works great. If you're wondering, do we all know what a Chromebook is?
No.
No.
Well, a Chromebook is essentially a laptop that you use primarily online. And in general, you don't save files to it in general. You can, because some of the newer ones, which is why I wanted to update, because Harry and I and all of us at Corky's, we talked about it maybe a year ago, about the usefulness of a Chromebook. And for most of us, it does a lot of stuff. Unless you do heavy gaming, unless you do photo, like Scott could not use a Chromebook to edit his photos and send them to his customers. It's not robust enough of a system for that. So we need to stick with Windows or a powerful Mac. Okay. So generally speaking, you wouldn't save files to it. They are relatively small hard drives on a Chromebook.
Not hard drives.
Well, okay. I mean,
Is it flash, Scott?
yeah, it's a solid state. It's like using
It's
like using a USB jump drive. That's true. Because of the price, they usually don't come with much storage at all. And because the processor doesn't need to be fast, that's what makes them cheap. And Chrome OS, like I said, is a stripped-back Linux-based operating system, and for the most part is free. That's another reason why Chromebooks are so inexpensive. You can get a powerful Chromebook. And also, a year ago, 2 years ago, mostly you would use a Chromebook online. These days, you can. There are increasingly number of apps that run on the machine without the benefit of the internet. You can edit a letter locally, but you have to prepare for that. So that if you're on an airplane or whatever and you don't have Wi-Fi, you could have the files you want to edit, you would have already downloaded them to your Chromebook. So it's not totally useless without the internet, as earlier versions of Chromebooks were. So there's a lot of good things about Chromebook, but there's some things that aren't that good.
Oh. Again.
For example, if you have a bunch of machines, you have an office with 4, 5, 6 people. If they all can use Chromebooks, look at what you're going to save in IT. Besides the saving the price of the machine, Chrome OS is solid. Doesn't give you any issues. Won't have trouble with viruses. That doesn't mean you can't get a virus coming in, but it's less likely because it's browser-based. You're using Google Chrome like we do on Windows. You're using a browser to do most everything that you do. Let's see. It's less expensive. Okay, Chromebooks can lower your software. For example, you can use a Chromebook and use your Google Drive. We talked about this before. I know that Jeff and Scott and Harry, we are aware, maybe even Marty, are aware of what Google Drive is. We've probably did 3 or 4 or 5 network breakfasts talking about Google Drive. Trina, do you know what Google Drive is?
I use it.
Oh,
I use it to send files to people. I don't like it for other reasons.
Are you sure you're dealing with Google Drive?
Yes, but
That would be docs, sheets, and numbers?
yes, but I prefer some of the
pages?
formatting of the real programs, and Google Drive doesn't have all that.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's a fair assessment.
Google Drive doesn't have all the bells and whistles, and if you do a lot of publishing and writing, professional type stuff, you know, it's not the best like Office, but
that's true.
But for
But
writing,
I find it easy to use though.
Yeah, it's very, if you don't need extensive
it.
tools.
Yeah.
Now, if you do, you still can use a Chromebook because there are free and also pay versions of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. You can use the free versions of Office in Chromebook. And you can also buy Office 365 and pay, I don't know how much that is a month, but Google also offers what's called a G Suite. And it says the latest price is of around $6, and it has all the things you might need to edit Word documents, Excel documents, and PowerPoint documents. So, okay, and also one of the things that they think is a plus for a Chromebook is that it encourages collaboration and improves productivity. For example, as we know with Google Drive, once you do a Google document, you can earmark it for somebody and give them one of 3 different rights. They can read it only, they can read and comment, they can read and comment and also edit. But your version of it will always remain even if you send it to them. So that collaboration may help you in your business in other ways. Other people can view your documents and edit them. So what it is it sort of nudges you in the way of using Google Drive. And if you need those extra tools, you might, it may serve you well to pay and use the pay versions of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint using your Chromebook. Now, what I was showing you was a Chromebook. Once again, I'll hit this, boom, and I'll show you this, say share. And I'm gonna scroll down and show you the next page of this. This is a high end. Even though it says Core i5, they come in i7s, which are a few more $100. But this is called a 2-in-1. And that is the kind that folds over. It has a keyboard like a laptop, and this is way more powerful than that first version, and look how much it is. But the funny part of it is, this is also at Micro Center. The funny part of it is, even at $9.99, they only have 1 left in stock. Now, they probably didn't get hundreds of them in, but they had to get at least 20, 30, 50, otherwise why carry it at all? So it's for $9.99, they have 1 left as of yesterday morning when I copied this this graphic and text. But this is a very nice high-powered or medium to high-powered with an i5 chip in it, with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabyte solid-state drive, which if you bought a Windows machine, you'd be hard-pressed to find one that only had 128 gig. So you're not going to save much to it. You could, but you know, the machine is very powerful versus that first one we saw. Also, I wanted to mention that these are Chromebooks. There are also other versions. This is called a Chromebase. There are Chromebooks, Chromebases, Chromebox, and a Chromebit. A Chromebit is a USB plug-in with the OS on it. So you have the Chrome OS universe in a USB jump drive. It's called a Chromebit. And also, this is a Chromebase, which is similar to any all-in-one. It has an LED monitor, and it's built in with a chip and the hard drive and 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's very nice. And this is online. And look at the price of this with almost a 24-inch monitor. This is a one-piece thing. You plug it in, and you're all set. $209 at Next Warehouse. And it has an 85% positive for getting this particular machine. This is wonderful if Chrome answers all your questions about how you're computing. Okay, I'm going to show you the last one, and I'll go back to the text at the, oh, lost it. Oh, this will make it go blind. Hey, all right, let's see. All right, there's the Chrome base. And then here, this looks like a Mac Mini. It's like, let me see if I can get down to see what that price is. Yeah, it's a Promethean, but this is super high powered. It's got an i7 chip in it. 4 gigabytes of RAM, i7 chip, so it's $362. Now that may sound like a lot, but if you tried to get this same stuff in a desktop, it would be at least 2 times and maybe 2.5 times this much. That unit right there has USB ports and an HDMI port. So you would plug in a keyboard and a mouse into this box and plug in with the HDMI into a monitor, and you're ready to go with a high-powered machine. That's called a Chromebox. Now, funnily enough, they do not carry these at Micro Center. I don't know why. They carry the low-end, medium-end, and high-end Chromebooks, but none of the other Chromebase. You can get a Chromebase at Staples. This is better gotten online. They didn't have this at Staples, and this wasn't at Micro Center either. But I wanted you to know about it because it's an important part of this whole Chrome OS operating system run on different devices. And I don't have a picture. I didn't get a picture of a Chromebit, but just imagine what your jump drive looks like with a little USB port sticking out, a USB port sticking out that you just plug in, and now you're running, you have the Google universe, the Chrome OS universe in a jump drive. Those are the actual devices. So let's see what else I got here. I made notes so I was
Now, are these
relay
powerful
them
enough to do a video conferencing like this?
Good question.
As a matter of fact, absolutely. Has a wonderful camera, and Zoom has the several versions of Zoom conferencing that run on Chrome. I did look that up.
My kids have done Google Meetup on their Chromebooks with school, and when they get beyond a certain number of people, it just starts kicking people out. They're just not powerful enough to do Google Meetup, which is what they were using.
Google Meetup, not Zoom. Nelson's been doing right.
Google product on a Google product, and it failed.
Right. But the Zoom is working.
Do you have any idea of why it didn't work? What did it stop after more than a certain number of participants?
I don't think it was the number of participants. I don't think they hit some Google maximum. I think the power that they believe, at least my kids believe, that it was because it was happening to many students that had the school-given Chromebooks, that the Chromebooks themselves were just choking on the bandwidth or the ability to process the video. They're generally underpowered machines, and
generally
they don't perform well when you try to run multiple tabs on your web browser or try to do any of the typical things that I would do on my desktop.
Yeah. Well, Zoom, I mean, I saw the Zoom client that runs on Chrome, and of course the Chromebook can handle that. Now, I don't know if there's a maximum number of
We just did. We did a Rotary meeting last week on Zoom, and I used my Chromebook, and I think there were 15 people. It wasn't an issue at all. I know Nelson in his classes, they have upwards of 20, 25 people, and he's using Zoom on his Chromebook.
Does the video look crisp and clear?
Yeah, right. The only issue, I mean, my Chromebook is 5 years old. It's old, so I have an issue with it because of it's severely underpowered and not set up for the. But when we use his, which is only a year old, it's not an issue at all. You know, I actually was on one. They limited, they muted everybody's sound because it was a CLE seminar, but they probably had 100 people on there.
Yes, I have a cousin that works at Case, and they're in Zoom meetings that had
this was put on by Case.
And 128 people were on the Zoom meeting. Can you imagine what that screen looks like? Well, from what I understand, this version and my licensing for this, we can only put 49 on a screen, and then you have to like click next to see the next group.
Oh, sure.
Now, I don't know if there's an enterprise version that you could see more than that, but and most of them for the meetings that she does, it's not for them to talk. They're not asking them anything. It's all one way. So they're only there to see and to have them the screen taken over and show them what's happening. With 100, they did 128. This was like last Thursday, and inevitably some of them have to have Chromebooks. Let me see if there's any more on the plus side of Chromebook before we. You can use a Chromebook for personal entertainment. If you're getting a laptop to watch Netflix or Amazon Prime, there's little point in forking out an expensive Apple product when you can access video content perfectly well via Chrome. So Chromebooks are okay for that.
Actually, Tom, what I can do, and you spend $35-40 on a Chromecast, which is the little hookup to your TV. I hook that into my TV, and I can broadcast my computer screen or phone, whatever, right to the TV. So if there's something, obviously the smart TVs have YouTube apps and all of that. But if there's a video saved on my Google Drive or to my phone, let's say I took one to the family out in bed, I can broadcast that to the big screen TV with the Chromebook.
And you're talking about using your 5-year-old Chromebook to do that?
Oh, yeah, that's not an issue at all.
Not an issue. Yeah. Well, that's terrific.
The only issue that ever comes in is if I'm too far away from the Wi-Fi.
Oh, sure. Well, that would be in any case.
Right.
Let's see. Okay, so Chromebooks are ideal for a workforce that moves around a lot. So if you're always on the go, traveling, Chromebook is great. And now, naturally, you have to be concerned with whether you have Wi-Fi wherever you go. And if you don't, the apps that will run locally, you'll have to make sure that you have those on your Chromebook, as well as download the files that you'll be working on your Chromebook, rather than depending on the Wi-Fi to get up to your Google Drive or your G Suite or your Microsoft Office 365. Yes, Harry?
So the one thing I do there, and I don't know if most cell phone plans, you can use your phone as a hotspot. And not only that, but you've protected your network a little bit better that way if you're using things like IP Vanish or VPN. So, with most data plans, it's not an issue. I haven't gone over in months, and I had an unlimited at one point, but I was able to save some money. So I just click on my phone as a hotspot, and I've been able to connect. I'll sit outside, but in the backyard, far away from the Wi-Fi, and still be able to do some work just to get outside.
Sure. Let's see. G Suite. They said it was about $6 a month, and there's 5. At least this is the source that I'm using. It says there's over 5 million companies and individuals that use and pay for G Suite. And it's claimed that it's a nice, reliable, tightly integrated way to work with suite of products on a Chrome OS device, G Suite. And it has
What does
Yes, Lee.
What does G Suite do that the regular
It's more
Google Drive-
robust. The word processor is more robust. It's more like the actual Word.
Okay.
Whereas we have Google Docs and all of that, it's a better versions of that.
So at what point would you be better off if you're going to buy Google G Suite for $6 a month? At what point would you be better off investing in Microsoft Office 365?
I think Office 365, I didn't get the price of that, but it has to be more than
$6 a month.
Yeah.
So Lee, going back to the G Suite thing, G Suite is where you can set up your company. So my business email and all that runs on G Suite. So I can toggle and give permissions to my assistant, which I don't have one right now, but so my email address, Harry S. Bernstein Laws, all run through G Suite. So you're setting up your business operating platform on G Suite. It's a lot more than just the suite of apps, but it has some other things too. It does have some phone conferencing things, and you can give different permissions to different levels of staffing and things like that. I don't use near enough. I went to a seminar at the Hudson Library here, and there are some companies, some pretty big companies. They use it to develop their invoicing and customer surveys. You know, I've done some surveys using Google Forms, some signups and things like that. So that all comes with it. To my knowledge, 365 doesn't have anything similar to the Google Forms. Google Meetings is included, that Jeff was referring to, as part of your G Suite. And again, you can put different controls there. It's a business enterprise solution, more than just a set of document processing apps. But those are good too. Again, I've done presentations and just the ability to bring up a file, which Google Drive's included.
Yeah.
Just the ability to bring up a file on my phone if I'm sitting in a meeting somewhere. I had to do one the other day. I was out and one of my partners needed a document. I just brought it up on my phone and texted it right over, emailed it right over to her.
Very good.
I put a couple of, I put some links in the chat. One is a link to a comparison between the free G Suite and the free Google apps and the paid for G Suites, just so you can see the differences. And the other one, if anybody wanted to try out a Chromebook without buying a Chromebook, you can take an old laptop and turn it into a Chromebook with a product called Cloud Ready by Neverware, and it's free.
That was part of my presentation was...
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Was how to turn a laptop into a Chromebook. If you have, we might as well do it now that you brought it up. You broached the subject.
Tom, before you get there, you can take Chromebooks out of the Hudson Library. If you've got a Cleveland Library card, Hudson, the technology at Hudson, the availability of stuff at Hudson's amazing. Cool. So you can go down there and take out a Chromebook, a Kindle, a ukulele for 2 weeks and just try these things out.
Oh, sure. Sure. Take it out like
really
a bar.
generous.
Okay, so if you have an old laptop that is struggling to run the latest version of Windows or Mac OS, because Macs run on Windows boxes, all the Intel i3, i5, i7, Macs run on those same boxes, not since iOS 10. So if you have a laptop that just doesn't cut it anymore, it has maybe 2 gigabytes of RAM, 4 gigabytes of RAM with an Intel chip, almost no hard drive, small hard drive, 250, something like that. It's a perfect candidate for you to actually upgrade and use Chrome OS. Chrome OS is free. You could download it and put it on your machine. By comparison, it'll scream. And you'll do all the things you can do with a Chromebook that you bought. So it'll give a new lease on life to your laptop, and it turns it back into a useful machine. You can download Chromium OS, which is an open source product, which is related to and extremely similar to Chrome OS, Chromium OS, and install it on your own machine. there's a link here, but that's just for my install Chromium OS on your computer. You could click on a link, you go there and get the file, and it'll download it and put it on your machine, and it'll give your old laptop, even if it's older than 5 years, it'll give it new life, and you'll be able to use it for those things that people ask me. What I all started with this was all I do is surf the internet and get emails. Chromebook is perfect for that. Okay. Now, here's a couple of the bad things. We'll only do a couple, because once this doesn't meet your expectations, you got to move on. For example, unless you're going to buy, if you need Microsoft Access, does anybody even know what that is anymore?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, sure. Me too. It's
database.
It's table-based database software, so that you will have many different databases, and then it's relational database. Okay, so that here's all red-haired boys, and here's all blonde-haired, and then each pile, then your question is a query, much like Oracle does. And Access, you can actually write programs in Access. It's being used less and less, but that will not run on Chrome. There is no commensurate version of anything that'll run like that on a Chrome. So you only have Word and Excel and PowerPoint that you could pay for, or there's free versions that are scaled back that you could use free. Okay, so you can't install Microsoft Office on a Chromebook, meaning I mentioned earlier that you can use a Chromebook offline. Well, if you're going to try to edit and create Microsoft Office documents using Office, won't happen. You got to use Office 365, which is online only. So you can't, if that's what you need to do, then you have to go back to a MacBook Air or some form of Microsoft Surface if you want really small, but it's expensive, or get a inexpensive laptop. Inexpensive is probably $400. Not like an inexpensive Chromebook, but then again, if you need Office, if everything you do, your whole world revolves around Office, and you want to be able to edit and create, then Chromebook is not going to do it for you. You can use Google Drive and save the documents as a DOC, but there are times when it doesn't save properly, and you'll have issues eventually if you continue to try to use Microsoft Office documents created or read by Google Docs. Okay, so.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Currently, so if I put a docs on Google Drive for my person and they open it, so it could look a lot different than, that's how I started emailing my documents. It could look a lot different because they aren't going to get.
Well, it's going to depend on just how much formatting you actually use in your Word document. If you're making your Word documents like tap dance sideways, because it can do a lot. If you don't ask Word to do a lot, the documents you save will open and read just fine. Okay? Absolutely. It'll be fine. You upload, in fact, I did that for somebody. You know, a couple of years ago, Case stopped buying Microsoft licenses for their computers so that they only use Google Docs. Well, one of them needed my help, and I took all of their documents that they've been creating over the years, and they wanted to save them, but now they were going to upload them to their Google Drive, and they were all Word docs. So, and their concern was the same. They wanted to make sure that all their documents from 5, 6, 7 years ago can, 1, upload, and 2, open and be read properly, even if we didn't save them as docs once they were up there, because we didn't need to. You would save them as a PDF if you're going to give them to anybody. which is what we've been using for 10 or 15 years as the standard for sharing documents, they would be PDFs, not Word documents.
Right, if they're not going to edit it.
Well, you can edit PDFs too if you have Acrobat, or there are some others. I use, it's called PDF 995, and it has an edit function. And the free version actually can edit Word documents, PDF documents, portable document files.
Okay.
And when you print to a PDF, that's actually a print driver. It's spooling like it would be sending to a printer, only it sends it to, and the PDF is the destination. Okay, so the cons of that, the major con is if you want to work in Microsoft Office, ain't gonna happen. But you can use G Suite, and with a slight bit of a learning curve, you'll still be okay. But
Tom can't use Office 365 online if that's what you want to do.
Yes, there's a free and a paid version of Microsoft Office that you can use online only. There's no putting it on your machine. There are editors, Word doc editors, that you can actually load onto your Chromebook so that you don't need. These days, your Chromebook doesn't have to be on the internet to be valuable and productive. It will eventually, if you want to do emails and searching and things, but not to edit some files that maybe you're on an airplane flying to California as soon as they open it up. Okay, so if you're a power user of Microsoft Office, you're still going to need, and you're going to need a desktop version. So your Chromebook is not going to do it for you. And here's probably the piece de resistance, which Scott and I alluded to earlier, is they're not ideal for working on multimedia projects. So if you deal in sound files or photos, like Scott does, Scott uses, what's that high-end program that's like a
Photoshop, Lightroom?
No, Lightroom, that's it. It saves raw photos that can be turned into anything, and there certainly isn't anything like that that runs on Chrome. There are lightweight video editors, photo editors, but they're really meant for just maybe cropping and maybe changing the color like I should be doing. I tried changing the color here to get me so I don't look like a beet. I look like I'm ready to explode. But I can't do anything about it, so I'm just living with it. So
maybe Scott can make a custom filter for you.
Ooh, good idea. Maybe I could probably buy I'm using the camera that's on my Dell XPS. It should be fine. I think it's 4 megapixel. It's just that I can't. You see, when I do that now, yeah, now there's the color. So the only thing I could think of is the light is absolutely wrong, and so if I move away, then I'm gonna go ooh poof. Okay.
Can you get into your camera settings?
Yes, oh man, I got settings. I got them. Okay, I got the settings up over here. Wait, can I show my screen and I'll show you? Yeah, let me see if I share my screen, if you could see my settings. Yes. Take a look at them. Do you see the settings here?
Okay.
Now, if I click Restore Default, you would think that would make me look like the rest of
I would go to color, where it says color.
Okay.
And just slide that
which
to
way?
one side or the other. And
you want to take color out, right?
Well, does that mean color balance, or does that mean
I don't know.
Saturation?
Just go one way and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Yeah. But you can't see me, though. All you see is this, right?
No, I can see you.
What, am I behind this?
You're on the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's much
looks like it's
better.
taking away color.
Yeah, but you could add a little bit back.
Yeah, I don't see a white balance.
I think contrast button.
What about
this? Is like crowdsourcing your
50
video
hertz
editing.
Make any difference, Scott?
No, it's just the speed.
So there's outdoor and there's 50 and there's 60. That wouldn't make any difference? Okay, how about this backlight?
That shouldn't either. Oh, wait, it does. No, only temporary.
Yeah, once it adjusts, it goes back to beats.
Right. You're looking for color balance, white balance.
Well, there's a
and then just, you know, set it to stationary or manual.
Here's brightness.
You're really bright. There we go. Nope. Yeah, it seems.
I don't know. Maybe it's probably the room. I'm just probably facing wrong or something.
Right.
I'm not able to make up the difference. Oh, well, we gave it a shot. Thanks for looking at that, Scott. See, now it killed my backdrop here. Anyway, okay, so if you do multimedia projects, high-end photo like Scott does, Scott could use it to surf the internet and have fun with while he's watching TV with a little laptop or a tablet,
yep.
Chrome tablet, which would be nice. But if he's going to actually do work, it's just not going to happen on a Chromebook. We don't have anything to do. If you use things like Pro Tools or Final Cut or any of those, I use Adobe Premiere. It's just not happening on a Chromebook. Can't. So it should be pointed out that basic image editing on a Chromebook won't pose any problems. Plenty of simple editors, cloud-based and offline. And you could get Android apps that will run on a Chromebook, as well as web-based video editors. And also, Chromebooks are not best suited for gaming. Actually, any kind of gaming. There are games available for Android, but it's not the kind of gaming that I'm talking about. When you get like full immersion games, not going to happen. In fact, even lesser expensive Windows laptops or desktops won't game well. That's why most of the companies create gaming computers. For example, Dell makes their gaming high-end machines. They're called Alienware, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 or more. But it'll run any game, and it's smooth, and the video is just as good as it could be. But this has very little, if nothing, to do with using or buying a Chromebook. Chromebook, you're saving money. You don't need an ID department to keep it going. You're probably not going to buy any software for it. You're going to use whatever's free. So you're starting out with around $200, and you're able to get your emails and surf on the internet. And that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much whatever unit. I showed you Chromebooks. Chromebase looks interesting to me. It's available at Staples. The Chromebox is interesting if you already have a really nice monitor and a keyboard and a mouse. Just get a Chromebox and you're ready to go. And then the Chromebit, just to get you into the Chrome OS world. And it's all available for not much money. So there's a whole lot of upside, and there's a couple, 3, 4 major things on the downside, and it's answered very quickly of whether you could be happy with it as your main machine or a machine that you just want to throw in the car and take with you, that you could get for $200 or $300. You get a really nice machine for $300, $400, and you saw what we could get for $900 is like out of this world for Chromebook. I probably wouldn't ever recommend that machine to anybody because it's overkill for what it can do and for what that operating system can do. So I'm not sure if have any of you, I know Harry uses it. That's your main computer, right, Harry?
Yeah, outside of my desktop. I mean, my desktop's Windows based, so if I have to do something with Office, I can do it. And okay. I use OpenOffice. I got away from Microsoft products a long time ago.
Sure.
Because of cost. When they were, when they were charging you $400 for their suite, and then they went subscription only.
Like what I mentioned,
Chromebook because it was $190, and now my son's on it because of the school district, and that's what I need to upgrade it because it's an old one. But
I just renewed for $75 a year. I have the whole suite.
Okay.
Just FYI.
The whole suite of what?
Presentations and publishing stuff, I might use Microsoft because, like you say, the formatting, there's some stuff I use that they'll send to me in a Microsoft, and when I go to open it up in Google Suite or in OpenOffice, the formatting doesn't come out right.
Well, legal documents have those lines, and you have tabbed areas where the defendant or the claimant or whatever, they're in different places. And that is where Google Docs are going to have trouble trying to make it look like a Word document would have.
Right.
Yeah.
I was referring to MS Office, Tom.
Okay, so
365.
So you paid
$75 to renew. I bought it last year, and I just paid $75 to renew.
And that includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint, anything else?
And Publisher, which I don't use. Wait, no, not Publisher. I know Word, Excel, PowerPoint because I use those all the time. I don't remember what else is there.
Okay. Well, there would in Office there would be Access. There would be Microsoft Notes. There might
Outlook.
be. Right.
I don't use Outlook.
Does it come with that suite?
I don't use Outlook, so I didn't even look. I just.
Right. Okay. It didn't matter. Actually, $79 is really not cost prohibitive, actually, if you need to work in that. Plus, you're using a Mac, so.
I have a question. Oh, shoot. I think I just forgot. You just said something that reminded me of my question for you.
Okay.
We'll have to come back.
Sure.
I use OpenOffice also.
What is OneNote? What is OneNote?
OneNote. OneNote, if I'm not mistaken, OneNote, here, I'll show you.
Is that like Notepad?
No, it's like Evernote. You can consolidate all kinds of things and organize web pages, your notes.
Oh, I remembered my question.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put this. I'll put this on the screen, and there it is. Where are we? Okay. Where, here it is.
Did Chris ever get unmuted?
He's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here's OneNote. You guys can see that. So OneNote at a glance.
Organize.
You can sort contents across notebook section and pages, highlight can't miss notes with important to do, draw your thoughts and that. You could share the OneNotes. You could clip and save, and you could record audio with OneNote also. And here's the way it looks on tablets, on a laptop, on a tablet, and your phone.
And how much is that?
Let's see if we have any pricing here.
And I mean, is this available for Mac too?
It says see
Yes.
Microsoft
I see,
365
right,
plans and pricing.
Okay.
So you may have that and not know it, Trina.
Because I don't know how to do a screenshot and send it to somebody. That was one of my questions.
Okay.
I need a tool to do that.
Okay, so here's the pricing. Now, are you in the center here, Microsoft 365 Personal, formerly Office 365?
Yes.
Okay, so you're at $69.99, and here's what you have. You have OneNote. You have Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Outlook, Access on a PC only, not Mac or Chromebook, and Publisher for PC only, not Mac or Chromebook.
I guess I only slid down what I needed.
Right. So you have OneNote, and we just saw what it does.
Okay.
it's like a sticky note kind of thing. It'll put a,
Cool.
if I'm not mistaken, it'll ride in your, what are called TSRs, in a Windows machine, the lower right-hand corner, all those icons, they'll terminate but stay resident. And
Okay.
you could click on it and it would put a note on the screen and stay there. Pretty
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
Should I, well, I have 2 questions, but I'll let other people go before I ask.
Did we lose Harry?
No, I just went to video, to audio only because I had to do something else with the phone, actually.
Okay. Actually, it's 8:38, just so everybody knows. Although I don't have to be at the office till 9:30, so I'm still okay, as long as we want to stay here and hash this out.
Okay, I need 2 little programs. I don't know if anybody, I have Mac, so computer people who could recommend. And maybe Tommy or Jeff will have to come over, but what I have Exchange, like my email is trina@fresheyesreading.com.
Okay, why do you think you have Exchange? Microsoft.
Well, I got that through my GoDaddy, and I read it through mail. I read it all through mail. I set it up through mail, but I can't make folders. And so for all different clients and subjects, I don't know how to make folders at trina@fresheyesreading.com or
Okay,
Exchange.
so what are you using to read your mail, if not Outlook?
Mail, just
Apple
mail.
Mail.
Apple Mail, okay. And why is it that you can't make folders in Apple Mail?
There's no place that says folder, make new folder to sort all my emails.
No kidding.
Jeff's laughing.
Well, I
everybody.
get remote access.
Nobody's laughing.
Right click and show you where it is.
Are we bidding Marty?
Adieu.
Yeah, I got another meeting to go to.
All right, Marty, thank you for dropping by. We appreciate you seeing you.
Thank you.
See you, Marty.
Marty.
Bye-bye. Oh, gone.
Well, maybe Jeff can help me. And the other thing is, and maybe OneNote does this. If I need to take like a screenshot of something or something I've worked on and then make it into a JPEG, a lot of time Hootsuite or some of those things you can't. You can only do a PDF or a JPEG. So I know how to make a PDF from Word, but I can't make a JPEG. And a lot of those social media, you have to upload a JPEG. So is that where I do it in Canva? If I need to make something I need to know how to make a screenshot or something into a JPEG.
A screenshot into a JPEG. Well, once
Can you do a print screen to a
how to create
PDF?
subfolders
Jeff?
in Apple
He's
Mail.
on a Mac.
Oh, so there's no print screen?
There actually is a keyboard combination you can use to take a screen snapshot. It saves it as a PNG, I believe. I'm not sure.
Right, and then you can convert it. There's all kinds of online conversion for free.
This is how to create folders in Apple Mail.
Hackwalla? Okay.
Click the mail icon in your dock to open Apple Mail. Alternatively, you can access mail through your applications folder. Click the plus sign at the bottom left corner of the mail application.
All right, I'll look this up. I've been in mail.
Wait, I'll put this in I'm going to copy this to our chat. So
Sure.
let me see, where's our chat at? Chat at.
Yeah, Harry, I didn't know how big a PNG, in Canva, they give you the option of a PNG, and I didn't, a lot of places, your only option to upload something when you're posting on social media is a JPEG.
Right, right. So I've run into that too. Actually, I used to get some documents, a lot of documents from Social Security, and came in TIFF, T-I-F-F.
Oh,
Wow.
And those are just massive.
Huge.
So I could convert those to PDFs, but there's all kinds of conversion tools online. You just got to watch out. Some of them are sketchy, but I forget which one I used.
There are little apps that you could get that you could run on your Mac and or your Windows machine, so that after you capture the screen, in fact, screen capture requires, I think it's 4 keys pressed at once. It's like you got to
Something
look
like
like
that. Yeah, right.
like you're Yasha Heifetz playing a piano. Ta-da! Okay, and then after you do that, then the screen's captured. Then you're going to paste it into a little, a little program. It's not an issue.
Okay.
And I also put the how to create subfolders. It's in our chat. So grab that, copy and paste it into a document. And then you can click on that and go to it, and you'll now know how to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
I knew my techie men would help me.
Oh, techie men.
We're tacky, not techie.
Tacky, that's right.
Right.
Whoa, was that tacky? Okay, I've been meaning to ask you since you showed up, Jeff. What does that say behind you? Your head's in the way. The spread of COVID-19 is based on two factors. One, how dense the population is, and two, how dense the population is.
Two different denses.
Definition of dense.
Yeah.
Well, one's a
Thick
Shouldn't
and
it have been
stupid.
spelled differently?
Same
Thick
word.
and
No.
stupid.
Oh,
dense means thick, but in this case, it means thick or how compact the population is and how thick
dense,
the head is.
Sure, dense. Testa. And in my case, rosa. Testa rosa, like a Ferrari.
Yeah, the Ferrari, right?
It's a Tamarosa.
Okay.
Mm.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
So, Chris.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, would you do me a favor and call me when we're done? I got something to tell you about handout cards. It's unbelievable.
Cards.
All right.
Handout cards, I mean.
I'd be happy to hear your story.
Do I need to hear
And,
it? I'm a send-out card person.
secondly, all you people are going to hate me, but I don't here. I cover a very large territory, so I'm basing this on what I do every day. Okay, you get out west, way west, out in the Toledo area, and I go into Sandusky and Port Clinton and all those, and then I get to the Pennsylvania border, and then I go Cleveland to Canton. There are some areas, and please don't take this the wrong way. There are many people who are hurting badly who have to get back to work. They're getting killed. And the problem of it is, you go into some of these outlying areas, their farm communities are hundreds of miles apart and this type of thing. And they're telling them they can't do this. Well, they're doing it because they have to keep alive. And especially the farmers, because they got to get the crops in the field, and they're telling them they can't do it. They can't go there. They can't go there. They're doing it anyway. In the same way you go out east, and that's the same way going out there. I think we've screwed this thing up so bad that it's unbelievable.
Well, it's a risk. It's a risk.
Well, here.
Risking lives, risking money. I mean, everybody has to, at some point, these people are probably so desperate, they're willing to take that risk.
Well, here. The problem of it is we have had so many people tell us so many things. Fauci come out yesterday on the TV and said you shouldn't be wearing masks. Now, there's millions of people running around with masks. I mean, he come right out and, yeah, you Google it. You can Google it and see it. I mean, he come right out on TV yesterday and said you shouldn't be wearing masks.
Oh, I forgot one thing on the same subject, Chris, about needing work. And Scott, I don't know if you saw about portraits instead of porch on the porch. Have you considered that? I thought those were really cool.
It is, but it's still, most of them are volunteers. They're going and doing this at no charge. And I mean, banging on a door and saying, "Hey, can I take a picture of your family?" It seems
and you
weird
can't
to
make
me.
anything.
You know, what they're showing looks really cool and really good, but as far as for practicality, I'm not sure if I really want to do that. Put me at risk, put them at risk. And if someone knocked on your door and said, "Hey, I want to take your picture right now," are you photo ready?
Oh, I didn't know they didn't set it up ahead of time. I thought you could offer that as a service and like for
I would love
$1.
to, you know, as a service, and you know, put it out there and say, "Hey, I'll come to your house and we'll do it outside." But a lot of times, what they're doing is they're going door to door and knocking. "Hey, can I take your picture?" And if you're not ready, most people, I wouldn't want my picture taken right now.
Oh, yeah, the ones that I saw were planned.
Right.
You could tell, and they were really nice. I mean, but
Right.
those they
And
weren't make
those
they
are the
were
ones
just
that they're showing on TV.
yeah.
But most of what the people are doing is that they pass out a business card and say, "Hey, when this is all over, why don't you give me a call and we'll do a real photo shoot." So it's marketing and advertising, but it's something I really wasn't comfortable with, but I like the idea.
Yeah.
You know, and then they post the photos online, and and you could share them.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I did see it and thought about it, and then looked at the reality of it for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Chris, you
Yeah.
there?
Yep,
I'm
absolutely.
reading the New York Times right now, and again, not to get into a debate. Fauci to warn of needless suffering and death if states open too soon. I get your point. I know people who are struggling as well, but the downside risk is so massive if you open too soon to the economy. Because if you have to shut down because we open too soon, you're going to be shut down a long, long, long time. I mean, frankly, they're not going to open Broadway till there's a vaccine. Theaters are not going to open till there's a vaccine. All right, and yeah, see ya. So that I get
Bye,
the
Trina. Thank
suffering.
you.
See, I don't think people live in a bubble, and I run into so many people who are just, they're going to be out of business. And that's just what scares the hell out of me.
Well, the
If we
economy is
don't
going to
do
have to change. It's like the Industrial Revolution. The economy is going to have to change, and this is forcing people. I will tell you, people were making minimum wage. They're working for Instacart, making $25 an hour now. They're putting themselves at risk, but they're wearing masks and they're sanitizing. So instead of people working from home, real estate companies are going to go, rental companies are going to go bust. Why do you need an office now? We've proven you don't need office. I mean, a lot of us work from home anyways. But if you're a big law firm and you're paying, I don't know what, $1,000 a square foot or some crazy number, I don't know real estate numbers. You've just proven you don't need that. Now the terminal towers and all those buildings downtown, they're going to have problems when those leases are up. The guys who are going to get rich are the lawyers. I just saw a report on Newsnet 5 is everybody's preparing for the lawsuits from this. And the thing about lawsuits is that the only one who makes money is lawyers. Nobody else comes out ahead.
Well, let's put it this way. I've been very fortunate. And you got to remember, a lot of times I'm going to empty houses. But I have literally had people who own their own houses, and we require them to fill out a pay form and all that. They basically said, "We have a contract with you. You go in and do the windows," and they're basically forcing us to do it.
Yeah, that's going to be part of the litigation that goes on too, because and then it goes back to a discussion I had with an employment attorney is the one thing we tell employees is as attorneys and both sides is you comply with your employer's wishes unless you feel that your safety is at risk. If it's something illegal or your safety is at risk, you comply with it, then you deal with it later through a grievance or litigation or whatever when it's involving the union. So my question is if you're telling me I have to come into work and that place is unsafe, like a Tyson pork packing company is, and I don't come to work, can you terminate me? So that's where a lot of litigation is going to come in. What I think is going to happen, and again, as Tom says, it's above my pay grade, I think you're going to need some reasonable legislation that puts caps and, like, similar to class action lawsuits. When the asbestos claims came through, they created an asbestos fund for people who were affected and got cancer due to asbestos. You're going to have to put a cap on these COVID-19 lawsuits of some kind. And hopefully it's negotiated and it's fair. But you're right. I mean, if somebody, you know, because that would be something to be litigated. It's a contract issue. If somebody says, Harry, you're enforcing this contract and I don't care if you put yourself in physical harm's way. And I say, no, I'm not going to do it. Go ahead and sue me. And then we'll let the courts hash it out. But again, the lawyers make the money and none of us get anything if we can't work it out. It's like a divorce too. I tell people, you don't need lawyers to get a divorce. Work it out yourself. Now, most times they hate each other's guts.
Harry, here's the problem. They're going to, they start opening up and they call these people back and they refuse to call back. And then the employer is going to call unemployment and say, hey, we told them to come back. They won't come back. Now they can't draw unemployment.
And that's right. And that's part of the problem. And there are people who've argued that the reason this was done was the state doesn't want to pay unemployment anymore. They announced they're going to give everybody unemployment, but then they're going to require them all to go back to work. So, and I'm not saying that's the case. It's, you know, again, I defer to scientists who have years in this area and medical professionals. So everything I'm hearing from those are be very, very careful. And DeWine said it. He said, we start to slip, and Trina shows that it's happening in Georgia that opened too fast. He said, we start to slip, we're going to have to shut it down again. Shutting it down, in my mind, and when you talk to economists, shutting it down again is going to be worse than having deferred opening up. All right, I got to go. I apologize. I got another Zoom in 15 minutes. So enjoy your white balance.
Thank you, Harry.
Tom, work on your suntan. You know, you should. There's some good sunscreen they got for you.
Yeah. I'm trying everything.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, Harry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun. Sorry we had a little issue with the sign-on times.
That was, I didn't have my glasses on. I don't know. I thought I clicked on the right thing.
You're funny.
I'm learning as I go. But
I think we all are.
How do we get out of it?
Just hit the leave
Jeff, did you? No, you sent me an email. Harry sent me a text and said, hey, send me the link of the meeting, because he probably thought the link that I sent yesterday doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I must have started a new meeting rather than,
right?
Because I sat down early to work out this lighting. As you see, I didn't get very far, but I went into the meeting. I thought I went into the meeting that we were all going to be in. So apparently what I did was I started another meeting so that all of those that I invited were in a different meeting.
Yeah.
So that's correct.
As soon as
because I was.
What, Chris?
Yeah, you're correct. I was in another meeting, and then I'm going. It says something about blah blah blah. So I just closed it out.
Right, the host is in another meeting.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. So I rechecked my link. You know, I got out of that one, checked the link, and I was, oh, okay. Well, we'll figure this out soon enough.
So there I was. I click on the Zoom thing, and it says, do you want to leave this meeting? And I thought, how can I leave the meeting? Everybody's going to be showing up here in a second. And then here was 8:31, 8:32. I'm thinking, holy shit, what's happening? So then I get the thing from Harry, and I thought, you know what? I just got to risk it and end this meeting. So I ended the meeting and then clicked start the window that I think, let me see if I still have that window. Yes. So if I go, now can I show you that window? Let's see. No. I wonder why I can't show you that window. No. Although, what does this say?
There we go.
We're already in another, oh, that's what I saw.
And that's what I saw too.
Do you
Yeah, me
want to
too.
leave and join this meeting? And I said, oh my God, yes. And then everything started to happen then after that.
Perfect.
Here, can I try something? I've never tried. I'm going to try to share my screen.
Sure.
Just as an experiment. I just want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, and then it.
Although you're not the host, so I don't know what'll happen.
And screen
Oh, wait a minute.
1. And share. Oh, I have a bunch of screens.
You get to choose which one or whether it's just a
What do you see?
window.
I see the
See your
rock and
desktop.
roll, long live rock. I see your
Excellent.
desktop.
Right.
Okay, that's my desktop. Cool. Okay. Stop share. There we go.
I'm wondering if there's a way that we can actually control the other desktop.
I think they
So we-
can allow you to draw on it. I think they can allow you
Yeah.
to.
Because I could use it like Team Viewer, where you
bit.
can actually, or the one that I use with Hindsight software, it's called Fast Support. And you log in, and then they take control, and the mouse is moving all over the place. They can do things.
That's cool. So I never tried that before. You know, the share screen, so I could share any one of the windows, you know, my screen or any one of the windows that I have open.
Yes. So if you share your
Oh,
web
yeah.
browser, be
You
careful.
get a shell that allows you to pick and choose which
Yeah.
one you want to
All
share.
right. I was always afraid to touch that. So
I wanted to ask Chris before you take off, Chris, did you get your camera?
Yeah, I got it yesterday.
Okay. And I have a mic for you, so please let me come down there and we'll get everything set up for you.
I'll be in town. Let's see what time it is now. About 9:10. I'll probably be in there between 10. As soon as I get done from here, I'm waiting on my installer to show up, and then I'm heading into town. I'll call you, and maybe we can meet someplace.
Who's doing that?
cool. That's me.
Whoa!
I'm just trying. That's a wedding.
Wait, I'm not finished with Chris. Chris,
No, I'm just
This is
trying.
better. Wait a minute. This is better. Screw that.
We can't see Chris anyway.
Let's go back to the good pictures.
oh yeah,
You wanna
all
see
the
good
Princess,
ones? It's
the
just
Princess
us now.
Leia pictures.
Those are
Anyway,
wedding pictures.
Chris, I don't want to just give you this microphone. I mean, I want to make sure that everything works for you.
Oh, okay, no problem.
I was thinking maybe if we could work out something for Thursday.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, so then let's just
Give me. All you got to do is give me an hour's notice so I can be back home. Okay,
excellent.
and I'll be here.
Absolutely. So Thursday we're on. I'll give you an hour notice before I head down there.
Okay, you got it.
I'll text you. All right. Thanks, Chris. Okay.
Yep, talk to you.
Okay.
All right. I have to go to get ready for my 9:30 meeting.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Oh, 9:01. Okay. Yeah, I got to be at the office at 9:30.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jeff. This was great. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to ask everybody, please subscribe.
To what?
To what?
YouTube.
Oh, to the channel. I thought I already did.
You did, yeah, but I don't think I need, here's the deal. I want to say no. We need 100 subscriptions in order to be able to use the Network Breakfast as the name of the channel. Right now, it's a series of letters and numbers. So
Okay.
we need 100. I don't know if we could get 100 but we got to try, because
Do you have
then
a Facebook group?
with no YouTube.
Well, I mean, but ask your friends on Facebook to subscribe. I mean, put a link and say, "Could you subscribe? I need people to subscribe so that we can."
Put it on our Facebook page.
I'm not an active Facebook. I mean, I got
LinkedIn
like
then.
75 million people want to, and I don't do any of them.
Okay.
In fact, one of them, a girlfriend that I had in 1988, she looked like damn Miss America. She texted me in Facebook in 2017, and she wanted to know if I remembered her. Boy, did I remember her. Yikes. I remember her like repeatedly.
Unforgettable, huh?
Oh, man. Her name, appropriately enough, is Betsy. Oh, yeah. And she's on Facebook. She lives in Missouri somewhere.
I have a picture of her. There you go. Is that her?
Oh! No, well, sort of, but she's strawberry blonde, and she has and because it's been so many years ago. I mean, that was like in 1977, 76, 77. So how many years ago is that? What is it, 40 some? So I saw her picture that was taken a few months ago, and she got matronly, but she's still really nice. Maybe it's only in my mind. I don't know. But I think so. And, that's what trips the trigger. That's what floats your boat. So you guys probably wouldn't think so. But back then, when she would come into one of the clubs I'm singing at, she would walk in and stand there and look at me and smile. The whole place, you hear crickets. I'm telling you. And then my stockbroker was there one night, and he pulls me over. And he says, how in the hell does a dog face like you get to go out with a girl like that?
You're a musician, of course.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was a hell of a ride, boy. Oh, just unbelievable. Okay. All right, man.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to put this
Talk
up
to
there. Please subscribe. Just go to anywhere on YouTube, click on the search icon and type in The Network Breakfast, 3 words, and our channel will come up. And then click on subscribe. And then I'll send you a link so that you could email it to other folks. And let's see, I guess we could try to get 100, because then we could own the Network Breakfast moniker.
Wait a minute. Jeff's probably got 1,000 people in his freaking.
No,
No.
I don't do that stuff.
Yeah. Well,
All right, I got to run. Thank you.
okay. Bye, Jeff. Thank you.
I'm going to go too.
All
Have a
right,
good
bye,
day.
Scott. Thank you.
Bye,
Chris.
everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Chris. I'll talk to you on Thursday. I'll head down there.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. Bye.